We're going to talk education today. You educated me with chia seeds, flax seeds, fiber, and I'm like, eureka. And one thing I'll say is I would have not agreed with you at all because it wasn't working for me till I got my digestion in order. You don't want to have tons of fiber rich foods if you don't have your digestion in order, or it's going to be a lot worse. You have to really work on so much of your diet before really jumping into that. Wouldn't you agree? It's not this quick fix.
Everything's a progression, Neil, everything. So, just like in the way of financial health, exercise, we just got off with someone who was an exercise professional on our last podcast. Everything is going to be progression. So, if you think you're going to just change everything in a day, that's pretty unpractical. So, want to make sure that we understand that health is a journey. It's always going to be changing and flowing depending on where you are, where you're going, where you're coming from. But it really is a journey. But I think everything goes back to, as you talked about, goes back to education. And if we truly understand nutrition and exercise and sleep, and we understand what can prevent healthy living, then we're more likely to make a healthier choice.
And not know it's a marathon, not a sprint, and that you can always make changes. That's what's fantastic. So you did another presentation as you this is Kelly's Choice is
Yes.
all about
So this
education. So tell us about your last presentation.
Yeah, this time of year we get so many asks for webinars, and I love doing webinars because we get a lot of people and interaction, and people are putting their thoughts into the chat. It's been fantastic. So the last one we just did was on cancer prevention. And I think it blew people's mind because with cancer, or if it's heart disease or diabetes, people feel like if their parents had it, there's a big genetic part that they're going to get it, that they are, on the path to getting whatever it is. And yes, genetics are real, but you have the ability to truly change your path. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get cancer or heart disease or diabetes. A lot of these are preventative and in some cases treatable. Okay, so in the way of cancer prevention, for instance, we talked a lot about fruits and vegetables, and a statistic that came up is only 1 in 10 Americans eats the recommended amount of fruits and vegetables a day. 1 in 10. And think about how many times you've heard eat fruits and vegetables. So, where is the disconnect? Where is it?
Yeah, and I think one of the reasons is because it seems like it's harder to prepare. And and it's not. And I'm certain vegetables I'm a big fan of, others I'm not. But fruits, I could eat fruits all day long. If you would serve me fruit all day, I'd be happy as a clam in that way. So I think that's the hard part, is they think it's more difficult.
I
And
I think there's a lot of things around this. And so that's why I kind of wanted to dive into that of like, why is it only 1 in 10? So, number one, I think right now, more than anything, cost is a huge, huge issue. So I enlightened them that you can go into the frozen section and get frozen fruit and vegetable for a third of the cost. They are picked at peak perfection, meaning that all the nutrients are there. They're flash frozen, all the nutrients are locked inside. They're not going to go bad in your fridge or your freezer. And you can pull them out whenever you want to. And so this is where the aha moment of saving money. So kind of debunking that myth. Plus, in the canned section, they used to think that you had to preserve everything with sodium, but now they realize you can just actually heat it up and it preserves it. So you can get even canned items that are a third the cost. So if cost is truly the reason, we can debunk that, go into the frozen or go into the canned items. The second reason why I think that the whole lack of getting fruit and vegetable consumption may be around this whole dirty dozen. There's pesticides and chemicals and all of that. Let's debunk that as well. All right. So the majority of our fruits and vegetables in the United States are coming from Monterey, California, that whole area there. And I've been very fortunate to go tour that area and learn more about pesticides and all that. In California, they have such high regulations that you would have to eat something crazy like 500 strawberries in one sitting for your body to test in any level of having over the limits of the pesticide.
well, that's not awful.
But
right?
that's what you'd have other issues if you ate 500 strawberries in a sitting. So, this is where understanding that do you have to always buy organic? No, you don't. I just want to make sure people are getting in fruits and vegetables. So, that's the second thing to debunk. Then we get into, like you said, taste and flavor in cooking. There are so many ways to make things taste good, and there's new tools that make it easier. Like, for instance, the air fryer makes it so much easier to just put in some Brussels sprouts or put in some potatoes, and they're cooked, they're crispy, they taste good. You're not using tons of oils, they're not fried. So, there's a lot of ways that we can utilize those. But on the go, ready for you, like an apple. It is a ready to go item. You don't have to cook it or even cut it. You can just take it with you and eat it. So I think, again, these are three huge reasons why I hear of like it's too expensive. What about organic versus conventional? And also the preparation. So hopefully we got rid of those and we can get people to eat more fruits and vegetables.
Organic versus conventional. And I brought that up before because isn't the biggest reason because not people are eating fruits and vegetables. Why we have so much cancer is because we're eating processed foods.
Yeah.
You know,
So
I
we're
mean,
so we're skipping the fruits and vegetables and we're going into the snack aisle where we so it's like it doesn't make any sense. And so I think if we just stop the myths out there and truly debunk them, we basically our bodies need fruits and vegetables. We need the vitamins, the minerals, the fiber rich sources, and the antioxidants to help prevent chronic disease like cancer, heart disease, and diabetes.
so I have an idea. Okay, I'm pretty good when it comes to salads. I'm pretty good with fruits. I wish that I could have my fresh fruit every day just fed to me. That's what I want. But meaning I like having fruit salads, different types of fruits just coming to me, apples. I got to become more cognizant. And so you're helping me in this process. Say, okay, next, what I need to do. But what about if I don't like certain vegetables? What if they end up throwing them in a smoothie instead? Because
You
that's
can.
something.
We brought that up today. I did a heart disease prevention talk, and I talked exactly about that. Of you could take beans, blend them. They'll go into sauces. They'll go into dips. They'll go into stews. I with children, I make smoothies, like you said, and blend in spinach. I blend in chia seeds. They don't know. You cannot tell. And so we really can mask it if you're blending them up prior and throwing them in all different types of food.
Smoothies are unbelievable. I mean, like I got a $10 smoothie and it had some vegetables in it, not just the fruit. But I was like, cool. It had peanut butter in it. I'm like, okay, I'm down. But that's the thing that you go back to. And I think that we wish we can come up with this as a plan. We need to have more available opportunities if you can't cook or different things to have those opportunities to go purchase those items. That have those restaurants like one in Texas that I absolutely love, and it'll come to me in a second. That met two celebrities when I went there, and it was just amazing. It was all vegetable type of, but all like tasting amazing. And Flower Child was the name of the restaurant in the Texas region, and oh my gosh. I would go all day long. Oh, I didn't care about what was in it. It tastes great,
Yeah.
you know? And
And
so
that's
mhm.
what when I was the dietitian for Wegmans, the chefs would teach us how to cook vegetables that tasted fantastic, unbelievable. And so I think cooking classes can help too, but it's all about choice. And that's where with working with restaurants, I'm trying to help different restaurants out by having choices on the menu. So it's not that you never can have the burger and fries. That should be a choice. Sometimes I want that choice, but can we have it so that you can get the vegetables on the side? Can you get a side salad? Can you do some things that people can make better choices and still have that burger?
Another place that was awesome in Texas was Salad and Go. Literally, you could get a salad for $4 or $5. You're not going to find that anywhere. And it was a healthy salad, everything in it, or get a wrap for $5 or $6. It was just unbelievable, and I would just eat those. So that's the thing that we need to have is more healthy choices, even in a fast food sense or a restaurant sense. And when will that happen? Hopefully once we debunk some of these things, like, oh, it's because you're not eating organic.
Yeah. Yeah. So as a dietitian, I'm like, please, whatever way it comes, please just get in more fruits and vegetables.
All right. So next grocery order, I'm going to focus because I will tell you one of the biggest issues I have with eating. if I'm, snacking, if I could just say, okay, I'm going to go grab an apple, I'm going to grab a banana, I'm going to grab these specific things, and I'm going to say, forget the other stuff. It's not worth it anymore. I'm eating healthy. I do lots of intermittent fasting. This could be my next step.
This
This
is
could
your
be
next step. This is your call. And someone asked me, they're like, how do you stay on track? And I said, you know what? The fact that I get to present and get out this information is always like the aha, like, okay, Kelly, make sure at your next meal you're getting this. Like I just had a tuna fish sandwich for lunch and I went out and I made sure I got a clementine with it. And on the tuna sandwich, there was carrots, there was cucumbers. I'm really lucky. We work in a place that has, it's called Good Eats. It's like that. It's like all healthy, really good food, but they add in extra vegetables. But I made it because I just did the presentation. I'm like, go out and get that clementine, add in a little bit more fiber, get that vitamin C. But I'm reminding myself by doing, the work I'm doing, which is nice.
It's unbelievable, for sure. And best, like when I think about doing that, smoothies. So on your website, do you have any cool recipes for smoothies? Especially,
Okay,
can I add the vegetables into it, or do you have a good sources that maybe we can consider? I'm just asking.
I think keep it simple. Keep it simple because I think sometimes with smoothies, people go a little overboard and also watch the serving size. Because if you're adding in a lot of different ingredients, you may be bumping way up on the sugar content. So just be careful of the amount you're getting. So a smoothie should probably be around 8 ounces. When people make smoothies, I see them in these like huge jugs. You might want to like put them in smaller containers to have it
It'll
through.
work for me. It will work for me at 6'10" and 280 pounds. I think it'll work for me, but it won't for somebody else. But what,
Yeah.
like banana, uh,
Yeah,
certain
I
fruits?
love making we've been doing this one particular smoothie for years and it's using baby spinach, frozen fruit, it's a frozen fruit blend. So it has like blackberry, raspberry, blueberry. And it's in the frozen section. So it's nice. You don't have to add ice. It's already frozen and it kind of blends in well, plus a third of the cost there. You can even use frozen spinach if you'd like to. And then adding in some Greek yogurt. The Greek yogurt is going to give you the probiotics, the protein, lower in sugar. And then we actually do it first where you soak the chia seeds so they are not crunchy in the smoothie because that was a no-go. Just let them sit for about 5 minutes in some liquid that could be water or it could be whatever liquid you want. And they'll become gelatinous. So they're not crunchy in the smoothie. Throw those in and then a little bit of apple juice to add the sweetness. Perfect smoothie. Absolutely perfect. Tested by fourth graders across the across the New York State.
I love it. I love it. So that seems like an amazing thing. So I'll think about that. So as simple as just adding some leafy greens with that smoothie
Yep.
and
Now,
having a salad a day and an apple a day will definitely keep the doctor away.
listen, Neil, I don't know if you know this, but I am the New York State Apple spokesperson.
Okay. All
You
right.
know that?
Yeah, I remember hearing that. Yes. So
So
so are you gonna have them send some apples to me?
yeah, I we definitely can. But the New York State apples, we're so lucky. We live in the state where we have 50,000 acres of apples. And I actually just had one for dinner last night. We're going to be doing a whole cooking extravaganza tomorrow with doing videos and everything. So it's amazing how you can make apples and savory, mixing them in with appetizers or your breakfast with your oatmeal or for dessert. We made a chocolate bar with apples in it. I mean, lots of different ways to incorporate apples to get that fiber, nutrients, and vitamins.
So we kind of went into always we're talking food, and but that's the one thing is for cancer. What other things can we do to, especially in your talk? Did you talk mostly food, or did you talk anything else in your talk?
We did. We talked mostly about the food sources and getting the antioxidants and nutrients and vitamins, lean protein sources, any way that you can help bring down inflammation. Also about omega 3s, helping with that as well. And then foods that you might want to avoid, like foods that are high in saturated fat, trans fats. Making sure we're staying out of that snack aisle because we're in the ultra processed side and also getting too much omega 6s from our vegetable oils. So, really, a full comprehensive way to use food to benefit your body and also foods to reduce.
So much information, so many different things. and that is going to really keep the potential to keep cancer away is to have the healthy diet.
Absolutely.
And it's just the normal things. It's not like as we're going to be talking in the next podcast. It's not about dieting. It's about eating right. And your body's going to be thanking you in so many ways.
But what I said over and over on the presentation, though, is now you are educated. Now you can look at a label and understand why that food may be causing inflammation. Now you're educated in the meat department and how to lower saturated fat. But again, we're not, a lot of people aren't educated. So these things may seem daunting. But when you can break it down and say, this is what we're looking for, or this is the reason why, and that's what we do at Kelly's Choice.
All right. Best place to go is kellyschoice.org. Check out the podcast, Talk Healthy to Me, available in podcasts and also syndicated on the Neil Haley Show. We really appreciate it, Kelly. Such great information again, and look forward to talking. See, I can pick your brain all the time. And I said, okay, I was thinking about chia seeds, but I was definitely thinking about fiber-rich foods. And it's amazing when you have a salad, even though you might be like, I just need to have something really bad. You're thanking yourself you had that salad later in the night or the
Yep,
next day. So appreciate
absolutely. And your
it.
body's thanking you too.
Exactly. Thanks, Kelly. All right. That was a special simulcast of the Neil Haley Show and Talk Health.